Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and welcome to the pre-bunk era of a post-truth world. Now, recently, we read through the new terms and service and the civic duty of Twitter to basically fortify democracy around the world with their new policy. And in it, they started talking about pre-bunking. In the lead up to Election Day, we'll share prompts with information about how and where to vote directly to people's timelines. We're also bringing back pre-bunks in English, Spanish, and all other languages supported on Twitter to get ahead of misleading narratives on Twitter and to proactively address topics that may be subject to misinformation. Do you get it? Over the coming months, we'll place prompts directly on people's timelines in the U.S. and in search when people type related terms, phrases, or hashtags. Pre-bunking is here. Well, let me tell you something. They're ready to take it next level in the post-truth world. This article, which we're about to read the vast majority of together, is about YouTube now talking about pre-bunking via the Ukrainian conflict, all right, in a manner where they're calling it inoculation theory, and there will be booster videos. Now, I did not watch the videos yet. We're going to watch them together, but you're going to see in real time this new propaganda where they're going beyond the fact checkers. They openly discuss this in the article. And they're getting ahead of the game. And they're going to show you what misleading narratives look like. They're pre-bunkers. And this policy is being carried out already in Poland. I believe it's in Slovakia and Czechoslovakia. All right? And there might be a couple other ones in there. Again, we're going to read the article. But this is the era of the post-truth world where they're also not only preparing you to criminalize speech, they're not just getting you ready for transhumanism. All right, all that's here. They're getting you ready for pre-crime and even pre-thought crime. And they're getting ahead of narratives right now. And isn't it just a coincidence that Klaus and the gang have the great narrative after the Great Reset? Before we get going, I need you to thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Guys, we're fully demonetized on here for now several years. It's tough to scrape by. The links are down below. My uncensored stuff is over at Rockfin and Rumble. We just did a great 45-minute interview with Joe Hoft of the Gateway Pundit. We could only put like 10 minutes of it on here because then we get into things that aren't allowed to talk about right here at YouTube. And remember, the pre-bunks are coming. And it's big tech in conjunction with each other. They all get the talking points. They are Trojan horse civilian systems. All right, we have to utilize them when we can. That's what we're doing here. So check me out over at Rockfin. We're over at the Podbean as well. Don't forget to rumble. I want to thank Odyssey for backing up my YouTube channel because you never know when they're going to take it. Just took down a interview I did with James Corbett from, I believe, 2+ years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. Just took it right down. Not allowed to have it. Consider buying me a coffee. $5, $10, $15 means the world to me. And again, watch and share the documentaries. Why do I call it a post-truth world? Because Bilderberg lets you know that was on the agenda in 2018. They're worried about it. No, it's the inversion of reality they want to control. The post-truth world is their creation. And the post-truth world is when you get a bunch of predator class, nepotistic, generational families and their minions in the media, military, industrial complex that runs globally on board with this reset, this narrative, this new world order, post-human agenda. That's what you do. And you just start taking hold of everything you can and this is misinformation, and that's going to be fact-checked. And by the way, the DOJ under Trump is still running with this whole pre-crime division, full force, Bill Barr and the gang. Mike Pompeo. Yeah, they really care about you guys. Think about that. All this is running through, and they're getting it ready. Now, let's not forget Peter Thiel. Another one we got to be having our eyes on. Peter Thiel is a board member here, Post-Truth World. And now, this article, Google to launch pre-bunking campaign with Jigsaw, by the way. Lovely. They have all these lovely divisions over at Google. Alphabet is the mothership. But, you know, Calico is the immortality division with Ray Kurzweil. Their open transhumanist division. It's no secret. Life at Calico is about science, and science is our life. And if there's anything we've learned over the years, it's to trust that science, and certainly trust Google, who again started out saying don't be evil and ended up scratching that a good long time ago. So again, this couldn't have been an Onion article. It's so over the top. They're talking about this being inoculation theory. They're going to inoculate you from being subject to misinformation, okay? And they're going to pre-bunk things and give you booster videos. So we'll watch the videos in a moment. I want to read some of this to people. Google's Jigsaw subsidiary will next week launch a pre-bunking campaign on YouTube in some European countries, aimed at tackling misinformation about Ukrainian refugees. The tactic, which involves showing 90-second clips designed to inoculate people against harmful content on social media, is based on research by psychologists at universities of Cambridge and Bristol. You notice I've been focusing a lot lately when I talk about that future strategic warfare document, how much psy-war and psychological warfare and CNN syndrome is talked about. This is next level. They're pre-bunking. The clips will run in advertising slots on Google's YouTube video platform in Poland, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic. So I guess I think the Czechoslovakia is in the Czech Republic. And aim to help people identify emotional manipulation and scapegoating in news headlines. If you tell people what's true and false, a lot of people will dispute, says Dr. Joe Rosenbeek from Cambridge. He's the lead author of this. But what you can do is predict the techniques that will be used in spreading misinformation, like with the Ukrainian crisis. Again, it's any narrative they want. It's elections. It's global conflicts. It's World Health Organization and United Nations dictates. It's whatever they want. We're going to play this in a minute. I haven't played any of it yet, guys. We're going to watch it together, but I want to keep going with this. Thumbs this up, subscribe and share. Fake news that Ukrainian refugees were taking jobs, committing crimes, and abusing handouts started circulating soon after the Russian invasion earlier this year. This misinformation spread rapidly online through Eastern Europe, sometimes pushed by Moscow in an effort to destabilize its neighbors. Tackling the spread of this type of misleading information has proven difficult and led to various governments pushing for new laws to stem disinformation campaigns. They always want more. They always want more and more. And they're going to criminalize pre-crime. In other words, pre-thought. What is pre-bunking? It's literally to say researchers behind the inoculation science project to compare it to a vaccine by giving people's microdoses of misinformation in advance. It helps prevent them from falling into it in the future, an idea based on what social psychologists like the social engineers call inoculation theory. Just wow. We're going to watch this in a second. I can't wait. All right. Let's see. Researchers then gave participants a series of claims that found that those who had watched the videos were significantly better at distinguishing false information from accurate information. We gave them the heads up. The same positive results occurred when the experiment was replicated on YouTube. Again, YouTube is a Trojan horse civilian system for global governance and total control everywhere. All right? This is the basis of a general inoculation against misinformation. I mean, and again, they tell you they're going to need booster videos, right? They go to the source argument, all right? And they tell you that this is, better than the fact checkers that can only rebut a fraction of the falsehoods circulating online. We're going to get ahead of them. So let's do it. Let's watch what a pre-bunking video looks like. What do you think, gang? Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share.
You might think about skipping this ad. Don't. What happens next will make you tear up. Wait, you're still here? I mean, great, looks like the trick worked. You see, when watching videos or browsing online, you are likely to encounter content that is loaded with emotional language, and with good reason. Playing into emotions, especially negative ones, such as fear, anger, or contempt, is a trick to get you to pay attention to something when you otherwise wouldn't. It's likely that's a big reason why you're still watching this ad is because you were lured in by our use of emotional language in the very first sentence. Research has shown that expressing emotion is key for the spread of moral and especially political ideas in social networks. So let's say when you're writing a headline and you're trying your hardest to manipulate your readers to click, one thing you can do is pepper your headlines with a bunch of emotionally charged words. Call it a horrific accident instead of a serious one.
So every media trick in the book that's been used on every level by every organization, and then every trick in the book that they use on YouTube videos to get people to watch. I mean, this isn't news. I can't wait to see what other kind of pre-bunk videos they have, but let's continue. Maybe it gets a little more crafty.
A disgusting ruling instead of a disagreeable one, or a heartbreaking twist of fate instead of an unfortunate coincidence. That way, you're likely to reach more people and influence their reactions. So let's see how this plays out in real life. Let's take the following headline from the movie Anchorman. No emotional manipulation at play here, just to the point, no-nonsense coverage of such an important event in history. This headline, on the other hand, see what they did there? The writer used an emotionally charged word like revolting to describe a whole group of people. Are mutes people? Oh well, you get the point. They're fear-mongering. So whenever you feel outraged or angry, remember, someone may be pulling your strings. Don't be manipulated. Truth Labs, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I don't know. I'm almost indifferent to that. That's like patty cakes, right? I'm wondering what this one is. The astronomers. I mean, what is it? What is this one? Was that part of it? I don't remember seeing this. Let's see if we'll look it up live. All right, we'll type in Truth Labs, and you guys can tell me. People are telling me that this guy in this new video game looks like Jason Bermas. I don't know. Maybe a younger Bermas. So let's see. Truth Labs. Inoculation theory. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, everybody. Okay, so wow, we got a whole 12-minute thing. We got scapegoating. Is that the one we just watched? No. Let's check out scapegoating. Inoculation science. They've been around for a year. Interesting.
If this ad fails to get enough views, I, your humble voiceover artist, will be fired. And it'll be because of ad skippers like you.
How could you? How am I gonna pay for Cujo's next pedicure?
Sorry. What I did to you there was take a complex problem, like how hard it is to get people to view ads, and singled out a specific group such as ad skippers as being entirely responsible. This is a common tactic called scapegoating. Wikipedia says it comes from the Bible. Of a pair of goats, one would be ritually sacrificed and the other, the scapegoat, would be released into the wilderness, metaphorically carrying with it people's transgressions and sins. Imagine there's an alien invasion. Some people might be tempted to use scapegoating to avoid being held responsible, but it's unlikely that a single individual, group, or goat is solely to blame. Here's an example of scapegoating from South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. The children of South Park have started swearing prodigiously. In desperate need of someone or something to blame, the town's parent-teacher association finds a scapegoat.
Times have changed!
I don't want to get in trouble for that. You might actually get the blame Canada thing. This is kind of weird because they're using pop culture. And they played a lot of that, huh? Let's see. Let's see what they have to say here.
Tries to make a complicated problem look simple by placing blame on a single group, they're most likely trying to manipulate you. Truth Labs. Blame is fine when it's fair.
University of Cambridge, it says inoculation science, and Bristol at the bottom. Should we go to the 12-minute one? I might make that a whole nother video because I don't know if I'm ready for 12 minutes of that. And I might want to just watch it and cut some clips out of it. Pre-bunking. It's here. Thumbs it up. Subscribe, share. Check out the entire Joe Hoft interview. I really enjoyed doing that. Not about left or right. It's about right and wrong. And again, pre-crime is coming, guys. And it's not just going to be about censorship. They're going to criminalize this stuff. It's what Assange is all about at this point. They don't want to just put a chill factor on real journalism and people that would validate real leaks and real information. They don't even want you to think this way anymore. They want their great narrative because what's coming ain't so great for the vast majority of us. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.